Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving out tips for things to consider if you're thinking about college. So basically financial considerations when you're thinking about college. The first thing that I would say is to do a cost-benefit analysis. And what I mean by that is basically just like think about how much is going to cost you for the program that you're thinking about. Think about the program and how much it costs, how many student loans do you have to take out, or how much you need to take out in student loans, or how can you find a scholarship to pay for those things. If you're going on a full scholarship, that's great, but I would still say consider the worth of the program and the degree that you're going for. So part of the cost-benefit analysis, I think a lot of high school people or, especially high school people or like people in college or just starting out, often think about the cost of college out of pocket directly, or like financial student loans you have to take out and then how you're going to pay that back. But I don't think they really think too much about the career and how much you make in that career starting out, and then versus like more once you get more experience and you are able to make more money. So like, what does the average person in this career make? So I would encourage you to go to ONET. It's O, and then there's like a little star thing, net. It is a website that you can easily search different careers and see like how much people make on average and the median salary as well, and the pay range, all of those things for that specific career in the country and in the state. There may not be data for certain things in your state depending on what field you choose, but I would say still go there and figure out. It also tells you if a career has a bright outlook, but also keep in mind by the time you graduate that career may not have a bright outlook, which basically means it's growing at a faster rate, or they anticipate there will be more openings in that field in the next few years. But if you're going for like something that's going to take a while to finish school to accomplish being, it might not be a bright career outlook by the time you graduate. So think about that as well. So basically, I'll just use nursing as an example because it's an easy example. If you want to be a nurse and you're looking at the cost of being like getting a BSN, for example, and you're thinking like how can I pay this? All these things. One thing to think about is what is the average BSN person making in your county or in your state at least, and what scholarships exist. Like for nursing, for example, there's so many scholarships, and if you decide to work while you're in school, you can probably work for a company that's willing to pay some of your tuition if you agree to work for them once you finish your nursing degree. So that's something to think about as well. Is there a cheaper alternative? So speaking from like, I used to work with women who were homeless, and they were single women, and they like had children or a child, and so I was the case manager, and one of the things that we had to focus on was, is it practical? Like, is there an alternative to the job that they want that is less money or less time to get? Especially people a lot of times say they want to be a nurse, but they don't really know what that entails. And so, you might want to do CNA first to see if you even like the work, because it's a much cheaper alternative. Now, granted, you can't usually make a good living as a CNA, especially if you have children and you're a single mother. You usually can't make a good living on that. But it's a good stepping stone, and I think a lot of nursing schools require you to get CNA experience anyway. So it's a good stepping stone to find out, do you really want to be in this career, or is it something that somebody just told you should do, and that's why you're looking into it? I think in the Black community, parents tell their kids to go into nursing a lot because they know that it's a stable career, you can make good money from it, and things like that. But fact of the matter is not everybody can be a nurse and not everybody wants to be a nurse. So you have to figure out, is it something you can do? Is it something you want to do? So is there a cheaper alternative? Like, can you be an LPN and do an LPN license instead? Some states are getting rid of the LPN license, but some states still have it. So that's a good option to do. There's phlebotomists, there's dialysis technicians, there's all sorts of things that you can do to observe the nursing field before actually getting into it and deciding that's what you want to do. If you're not in a clinical mindset and you're thinking more business, is there a cheaper alternative to business school? Can you do a associate's degree in business management or something specific that you can directly apply to the real world once you graduate, and get an internship and then find out, is this something that you are interested in, or what sector of business are you interested in, and then going for a bachelor's degree in that field. What are the required courses, and are you good at those subjects? So a lot of times, I just keep using nursing as an example because it's such a relevant thing that people continuously decide they want to do, but then they get into the coursework and they find that they don't like it and they're not good at it. So for me, I was a pre-nursing major at one point in my college career, and I decided I didn't want to go to nursing school. After touring nursing schools and talking to administrative professionals at nursing schools, I was all they talk about is nursing all the time. And I was like, obviously it's nursing school, so of course they're going to do that. But I think it just clicked in my brain that I don't want to be all about nursing for the next several years of my life. So I was like, no, it's not for me. But one thing to think about, are you good at organic chemistry? Are you good at general chemistry? Do those things excite you? Do you like biology even? I think that people don't think about chemistry when they think about nursing. They think about biology. And you could be good at biology and terrible at nursing at chemistry, or vice versa. It depends on how much you want it. So we'll tolerate classes we don't like to get to the career we want. But if it's something you genuinely hate, especially and you just don't want to work that hard to obtain the goal of being a nurse, then you should not be a nurse. And that goes for anything. That goes for any major that you choose. I changed to a psychology major in the end, and if I wasn't interested in human behavior and how people think, then it would have made no sense. It would have just not made any sense at all for me to have a psychology degree. But it clicked for me. It's something that I enjoyed and I was good at it naturally, so it was the route that I chose. And so you have to think about those things. What are your goals, as far as your salary goes when you're a working professional? How much money do you want to make, and does the career you're thinking about give you that salary? Like I said, if you go to ONUT, and even Indeed.com and other places, you're able to see averages of salaries in the field that you're choosing. But if you specifically go to ONUT, they will show you in your state what people are making in your state, and nationwide. So you can think about, do I want to work here in the state that I live in? Do I want to work in a different state? How badly do I want this career choice, and how badly or how much am I willing to work to get it? And I think I've talked about this a little bit already, but which scholarships and grants do you qualify for? So I would encourage you to look at scholarships in your community. Sometimes your community has small scholarships that they give to people. Your school may have scholarships. The college you go to, if you're in any programs at school, in high school, or tech school or community college, they may have scholarships as well. Some community colleges have partnerships with bigger schools, and they may offer scholarships. So there's a lot of options that you just have to sift through all of the scholarships. And I think there's a site called scholarships.com or something like that, that helps you find scholarships. And I've never gotten a scholarship from that site, but I've helped other people get scholarships. So, but most of the scholarships that I've helped other people get were like community-based scholarships or niche scholarships. Am I saying that word right? Niche? I don't know. Scholarships where like, for example, I worked with single mothers, so there were single mother scholarships out there, and I helped people find those scholarships, and they applied, and they were able to get them. The thing is, there are so many scholarships available people don't know about, but you have to think about what is unique about you. Are you a single parent? What is your ethnicity? Are you disabled? What other scholarships are there? Are you a woman? Are you a man? Are you whatever? A scholar or a first gen, or I think they even have scholarships for older adults, like more like professional scholarships for people who have been in the working world but are now going back to school or going to school for the first time. There are all sorts of scholarships. You just have to look for them, and it does take a while to find. But think about all the things that are unique about you and start typing those things in to, Google and see what comes up. So those are my quick 5 tips. I think it was 5 tips for financial considerations for when you're thinking about college. Thanks for watching. Bye.